are inspections not priorities?
They are priorities to protect the
But with
American
less
worker.
inspectors, you can't do investigations.
What we don't want to do is weaponize the use of those funding dollars against.
How is there weaponization if it's going to take you 187 years to complete inspections and you are cutting the inspectors that are supposed to do those inspections? The math is not mathing.
Well, statutorily, we will protect the American worker. We can still cost save and do the job that we need to do.
So American workers can expect that you will expedite investigations to make sure that we are assuring their safety.
American workers can expect that the Department of Labor will protect the American worker, as that is a core mission of the Department of Labor.
If Ilhan Omar seriously thinks Americans are going to start hiring Somalians over their own citizens, she needs to think again. That's not how this country works. You just watched Omar try to corner Lori Chavez-Darimer, thinking she had some big gotcha moment lined up. But what actually happened exposed the exact political game the left always plays. Omar jumps in with dramatic talking points, acting like if the government trims even a little bit of its bureaucracy, suddenly children will be marching back into coal mines. It's pure fear politics. This is the same trick Washington politicians use every time. Create a crisis that doesn't exist, scare the public, and then demand bigger government, more agencies, and more taxpayer money. But Chavez-Darimer didn't take the bait. She stayed calm while Omar tried to turn the hearing into political theater. Because the real issue here isn't worker safety. Everyone supports that. The real fight is about whether Washington keeps feeding a massive government machine while ordinary Americans pay the price. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, for being here with us and watching the hearing earlier. I learned that you're also a former union member.
My father was a Teamster.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'm a former AFSCME member. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the child labor enforcement. In two appropriations hearings last month, you expressed a firm commitment to fighting illegal child labor. At the same time, your agency has decimated ILAP, including its work to prevent child labor. Your budget proposal will weaken a historically under-resourced wage and hour division. The nominee to be your solicitor of labor wrote a chapter in Project 2025, which literally calls for the rolling back of child labor laws. Madam Secretary, can you assure this committee that you will not propose any rollbacks of child labor rules that prevent children from being employed in hazardous occupations?
I commit to fighting against all child labor exploitation. Absolutely, in this country, we do not want to exploit our children. Consistent with putting the American worker first, the budget does streamline ILAB, that is one of the agency departments that protect the American worker and protect against child labor violations. The budget provides for about $70 million to ILAB, including $38 million in grant funding, while restoring ILAB's emphasis on putting the American worker first.
So that's a long way of you saying yes?
I will work absolutely to combat all child labor.
Wonderful. Many workers across the country will feel the impacts of your staffing and funding cuts to WHD and OSHA. As of May 2025, WHD employs just 611 investigators nationwide. This is the lowest number since at least 1973, even though there are nearly 10 times as many workers and businesses for them to cover. Your budget proposal cutting the office by $25 million, with staffing projected to fall. Your budget would also cut OSHA inspectors by over 12%, even though currently it will take 185 years to inspect every workplace just once. Madam Secretary, what is the plan to keep workers safe when you're slashing enforcement?
Yeah, no, thank you again. Again, one of the overall core missions is to protect the American worker, and that includes in the wage and hour division as well. And while we are streamlining and doing some cost saving for the American taxpayer, we will always be in compliance with our statutory requirements.
Well, that doesn't, Madam Secretary, if I can just interrupt for 1 second. At one point, DOJ was set to close 20 WHD field offices and 11 OSHA offices. if this is happening, how will this protect workers?
So the offices that we have been, that were originally proposed through GSA, we have worked with to bring them online. I don't think that that is a good use of the compliance issue, that we have to protect the American worker. And through the DRP, none of our essential workers, either through wage and hour, through OSHA, through MSHA, were able to take those because we know we need those investigators on the ground to protect the American worker, and I advocated for that.
Yeah, but having fewer investigators and inspectors will not protect workers from wage theft, misclassification, and dangerous working conditions. So how are you going to operate with less, even though we didn't even have enough to begin with?
Well, it depends on what the priorities are from the past administration, but in this
Are
administration...
inspections not priorities?
They are priorities to protect the
But with
American
less
worker.
inspectors, you can't do investigations.
What we don't want to do is weaponize the use of those funding dollars against...
How is there weaponization if it's going to take you 187 years to complete inspections and you're cutting the inspectors that are supposed to do those inspections? The math is not mathing.
Well, statutorily, we will protect the American worker. We did not have any of our investigators currently. We're not able to take the DRP in order so that they can be assigned to the job that they are required to do.
So are you saying that you're going to hire more investigators to do inspections?
What I'm saying is we did not allow our statutorily mandated offices that we need essential workers like our investigators through wage and hour, through MSHA, and through OSHA to take the DRP because they are essential to protecting the American worker in these industries. We can still cost save and do the job that we need to do.
So American workers can expect that you will expedite investigations to make sure that we are assuring their safety.
American workers can expect that the Department of Labor will protect the American worker, as that is a core mission of the Department of Labor.
All right, now that we've seen the full exchange, let's be real. Ilhan Omar came in trying to trap Lori Chavez-DeRemer, and it completely blew up in her face. She starts with the "I'm a union kid, my dad was a Teamster" bit, totally forced, clearly a setup to make it look like the secretary is anti-worker. But Chavez-DeRemer didn't flinch. She stayed calm, focused, and on message while Omar tried to manufacture outrage. That's the difference between someone looking for a viral clip and someone actually doing their job. Then Omar goes for the fear tactic: child labor, Project 2025, scary hypotheticals, basically trying to paint the secretary as a radical. But Chavez-DeRemer gave a clear, detailed answer about streamlining the department to put American workers first. Omar interrupts with her snarky, "So that's a long way of saying yes" line, but it wasn't. It was accountability, efficiency, and common sense versus DC theater. And the kicker? That 185 years to inspect every workplace. Stat. Omar spins it to justify a massive army of federal inspectors, bureaucrats crawling into every mom-and-pop shop in America. The secretary calls it out: throwing money at the problem doesn't fix it. Weaponizing funding and inspectors is what actually threatens businesses. Chavez-DeRemer showed exactly how to protect workers and taxpayers. Omar tried fear and theatrics. She got schooled on real leadership. This is exactly why Americans are fed up with Washington, and why we need people in power who actually understand the math, the mission, and the money. Now it's your turn. Do we need more inspectors or a government that actually runs smart and efficient? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you're tired of Washington nonsense, and subscribe for more truth bombs like this.